Hey, I'm Kimmy Hart.
I'm Antonio.
This is Brian.
I'm Joe.
And we're Reality Sweet, and you're listening to Alive and Loud.
All right. We have got a really fun group on the podcast tonight. Reality Sweet out of New Jersey. I've been a fan of these guys for a really long time. They probably don't even know that. But they just put out their latest album on vinyl. I have a copy of it behind me here, Awaken. Can't wait to talk about how that came to be and a whole bunch of other stuff tonight. So, guys, welcome to Alive and Loud.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey, thank you, man.
Much. Thanks.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. I got the whole team here. This is great.
Well, I think we should admit something here. I'm sorry. We're actually not the band. We're just fans.
See, I know you guys enough. You can't pull that over on me.
Exact replicas.
This is our contribution.
The doppelgangers.
Okay.
He's barefoot.
I think the word we're looking for is your variants.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're variants. There you go.
Yeah.
We're the stunt
Twilight
doubles.
Zone.
Right.
You're watching Loki, I see.
I am. In fact, that's what I'm going to do after we're done taping here because I've got a season finale to catch. So,
Oh, I forgot about that. I went to that this weekend.
so band practice is going to go quick, huh?
Yeah.
Is this a show I need to watch?
Disney Plus. It's
I
a
have
Marvel
that.
movie.
Kimmy, if you're into the Marvel stuff,
I
you
love
need
Marvel.
Mhm.
to. See, come on now.
Okay, I need a new show anyways. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
You'll
we're
like
already adding value.
it.
Awesome. No, guys, I'm really excited to have you on here, though. I've been listening to you guys for a few years now, and I was really excited about the release that you just had last month. It was June, right? We're in July now. Yeah, that last month you put your latest album out exclusively through Spin Me Around Record Store. 300 copies of this bad boy on white vinyl, Awaken, and you dressed it up with some extra stuff. How did you make this happen?
Well, Spin Me Around made it happen. Like, thank God for them. They believed in us. They were fans for a while. Brian's been going there for years, and they're just amazing people. And one day, he was just like, "Hey, when are you guys gonna write? You can tell the story. When are you guys gonna come out with a vinyl?" And Brian's like, "Well."
Well, I could go there since 2017. So I go there pretty much 2 or 3 times a month. And Charlie, the owner, we've become friendly, and he would always bust my chops. You know, I'm going to a record store. I'm a record collector. I have a band. My band doesn't have any vinyl. So he would always be like, "So when are you going to release the album? Where's the vinyl coming?" And finally I turned around and said to him, "Well, why don't you release it?" And he kind of paused, and we carried on with our conversation. And when we were saying our goodbyes, he doubled back, turned around and said, "You know what, just let me know when you want to do that vinyl." So I was like, "Oh," I think he's serious. So that just started the ball rolling. So then it just became a matter of how quickly can we get this together? Because his whole condition was that we have it out for Record Store Day, which, me being a vinyl collector, I understood the significance. I understood the platform and the exposure that could be around it. And so we basically shopped around with manufacturers who can turn it around in less than, I think it was 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks.
It was really fast.
It was
really fast.
And
Yeah.
pretty much only there was one I forget, I think they're out of Maryland. Anyway, they're somewhere on the East Coast, but they were like the only manufacturer who could turn around that fast. So.
Well, and so you already answered my next question, which was really going to be about production issues, because that's been a huge story for really more than even the last year. But, due to COVID, the ever-growing hobby of vinyl collecting has really exploded. And so bands are having a hard time getting their product produced.
Well, let me tell you really quick. We initially were talking about doing red. Charlie was like, "You got to do red vinyl. It's very popular. Everybody wants red." So when we got together, we're talking about it. Kimmy's like, "You know what? I think we look much better in white." With the cover, the CD, the original CD was in white, the cover. Why don't we do white? So I was like, "You know what? Yeah, let's do white." It actually worked to our benefit because we were scheduled maybe 3 weeks later than it actually got done, because the manufacturer reached out to me and said, "Hey, another band is doing white. I can get yours done this weekend, and you'll have it by, like, say, next Friday." It was like 3 weeks ahead of time. before the release date.
So we stole 300 of their albums.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they lost their production. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Stole their
Whoever you are.
vinyl pellets. But yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And you know, so you had a big record store day release right in the store where you guys played. That was really cool. I wish I could have been down there for that, but it's a little bit of a hike. And I had to have my own shop here. I needed to line up at the crack of dawn for as well.
Wow.
That's awesome.
But you know, that's how it is, right? You know, you support your local store. But I definitely bought one from them. So that's really cool. But so how does that feel, right? I mean, I watched the premiere when you guys streamed that as you were kind of unboxing and everything like that. That seems like a really cool moment for everybody.
It was actually legitimate. Like if you saw our reaction in our faces, this was the first time when we saw it and we were blown away.
It's a one-take video,
Yeah.
and it was like just
I
to
do have to
hold the
admit-
record for the first time.
Yeah.
My reaction was illegitimate.
Damn
It's
it.
illegitimate.
What's the matter with you,
His
man?
might have been legitimate. but-
He's always sneaking through the presents.
Yeah, it's still a blast. I mean, you know, just still, you know, every once in a while I'll just slide the record out. You know, I don't have to play it because I know what it sounds like, but every once in a while I'll just slide it out and kind of just
One time he sneezed on it by accident.
marvel at the whiteness.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, great. I love that you really dressed it up too. You put the new single Triggers on there as well. So in addition to being the deluxe edition of Awaken that had Kiss the Ring on it, that the original release didn't have, it also had Triggers on there. So really full album, really cool. I can tell you, out of everything I bought on Record Store Day, that's what I've listened to the most so far. You just never know what's going to hit, right? And sometimes that's just where you're at, and that's been you guys actually for the last month. So yay,
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
which is really cool. Now I have to ask the next question though, because that live album that I just held up a few minutes ago, that thing is screaming for a vinyl release, because that's just the way live music's meant to be heard, you know.
You were absolutely right. I mean, that's how Peter Frampton broke. It was based on his live album.
Who?
I mean, New Kids on the Block.
No,
Brian, set him straight.
I'm kidding. Kiss. Kiss
Well,
Alive.
yeah, of course, Kids Alive is another band. But I'm saying, well, Peter Frampton was the first one to really explode on. Am I right on this? Was it
Yeah.
Peter Frampton who was the first live album that made like over 1 million
Wait, wait,
records?
when did Frampton Comes Alive come out though? What was the year on that?
76?
Kiss was 75.
Oh,
Kiss
man.
was 75.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's probably 76.
It depends
So,
on
I
which
guess-
revisionist history you're reading. You know, Humble Pie technically, I guess, was a big live album, which inspired Kiss Alive.
Sure.
But then again, Made in Japan, which is a fantastic live album from Deep Purple. I think that was earlier.
73?
Yeah, I think it was earlier.
But it wasn't made in Japan, was it?
It was Made in Japan.
Was it really?
In fact, the
I heard
first
Made in Japan, and I went right to Iron Maiden. So I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, no. Anyway,
I want to go to Japan.
but you're right though. The live albums on record is like a whole different vibe altogether. It's almost like you're there.
The
Yeah.
Alpha Wave CD was supposed, you probably caught onto it, but it's supposed to be a live bootleg from
Oh, yeah.
Japan. So that was
Yeah, totally caught on to that quickly. Exactly. When I got the physical packaging, I was like, this is the next step here. This is going to have to happen, right? So hopefully everybody bought the heck out of that. Hopefully everybody bought Awaken on white vinyl. And if they haven't yet, maybe there's still some available. So do it quick. And maybe are you guys considering putting the live one on there?
I don't know if it'll fit, and I don't know if we have the budget to do a double record set.
It really depends. It really depends. It depends
You'd have to
on
be
something.
remastered, sure.
There might be a time for that. Maybe right now is not just the time. We're going to concentrate on new music
New
at the
music,
moment.
yes.
Okay.
Maybe we can get a label to release that.
But we've tossed that around.
That would be great
discussed that.
to
Joe's been
release
tossing.
that.
We've been tossing it around.
Awesome.
We might find a bootleg label distribution for that.
Japanese.
Japan, yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That was a joke. That was supposed to laugh, man.
I'm laughing.
On the inside.
Thank you.
No, I'm there. But you answered. Well, you answered that a few different ways. But then you actually hit one of the next questions I was going to ask you guys, which is like, What's next, right? So like shows are starting to happen. New music, you just talked about that. You said you guys are looking ahead too. So super cool to have the latest release on vinyl, which is awesome. I've said that enough times and I meant it every time. But looking forward, what's that look like with music? Have you guys been writing?
Yeah, we're getting back to the drawing board, and we have a couple ideas floating around that we just gotta basically, like they're all up here, and we just gotta like.
We're working them out.
Yeah.
And, yeah, coming up with some. I think there's gonna be some good material by the end of the year.
I'm excited. Okay. So hopefully some singles and maybe an EP.
Okay.
At the end of the year, hopefully.
Now, when you guys are doing that, how does that really begin for you? Does that start with an idea, a lyric? Does it start with a melody? Or is it just it depends from song to song?
It really depends from song to song. Every song kind of comes together differently. Yeah, like you said, sometimes it'll start with a melody, a lyric, or sometimes it'll just Joe will upload like his guitar
or me,
and yeah, they'll just every time it's different.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
It is like
we collaborate.
It's all different every single time.
Musically and
cool. Well, that's kind of neat. And part of the reason I ask that is because one of the things that stands out a lot about you guys to me is that your songs. How do I say this the right way? It's rock, straight ahead rock, and yet at the same time, they're like Joe rips into solos like 3/4 of the way through the song, and it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, "Whoa, hold the phone here!" You're like, you know what I mean? Like, the song's sort of chugging ahead, and you feel like you know what's going on, and then all of a sudden, you pop in with something totally out of left field, and I think it's really cool, and it definitely differentiates and adds a layer. Kind of above and beyond what you feel like you've signed up for when you started listening to a song. Does that make sense?
Cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Like we want to take you for a ride. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I'm there.
We appreciate that you noticed those little
awesome.
things.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
means I've listened more than once too.
It's
Yes, that wasn't show prep. I actually do.
It's like one of those things where like you're wearing a Metallica shirt. So I know you know Metallica probably just as well as we know Metallica. And the whole like philosophy I personally always had is I always like to be off the beaten path a little bit, so that if we are kind of going very straight and narrow, then you got to nudge it a little bit so that it's not so straight and narrow. Because me personally, I feel like if we're too stock, if you know what I mean, stock.
Yep.
Lars is standard. You're too standard. I just feel, I feel corny. I don't know. I feel like if we're too like generic,
Boxed in.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Like I feel like if we sound too much like our peers or like other people, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like
we're not doing the song justice, like and that's why it goes through the flow of all of us. We each put our own 2 cents in it, and by the time it's done, it's like 40 cents.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
It's like 40 cents.
Yeah. No, but that makes sense, and it absolutely comes out that way too, which is cool, because I don't think I would go so far as to use the word like progressive, like a Dream Theater kind of thing, but at the same time, almost that, like it's
hinting.
you know what I mean? Like
We're flirting with it, but then
exactly.
Yeah, it's funny because over the years I've said things to Antonio, and like there's certain songs where are you a musician at all, Charlie? Do you play?
No, I just listen to a crap load of music.
Okay, like sometimes when you're playing the same songs so many times, you start to feel you do get bored, but you feel like, oh, this is not challenging for me anymore. This is not and Antonio would always just kind of reel me in and say, you know what? It's not as simple as you think it is. Other people hear it and they don't hear what you're hearing. It's a lot more intricate than what you think. Not that I'm trying to be intricate, not that I'm trying to make us progressive, although we love Rush.
Your own worst critic. Like.
Right, I am my own worst critic. But when I'm starting to get bored, then I kind of have to remind myself that, I think we have achieved something a little bit more unique than the next band. So.
And honestly, that's what I appreciate too. When Antonio finally joins us to write a song,
When he arrives with the pizza.
It's pretty cool. Like he'll be in the room for 5 minutes and say, Joe, why don't we do this chord instead of that chord? And to me, that chord makes no sense. Like, what the? Like, what are you talking about? That's like sticking out here, and it's like, we'll attempt it. We'll try it a couple times. Like, that's not a bad idea. That's pretty cool.
I'm not used to this kind of complimentary.
It's not a compliment.
Welcome.
It's not a compliment.
But to add to that though, because this is even funnier, you know, when it comes time to release stuff and you're putting everything into the publisher and everything, you know, the songwriting credits and all that touchy stuff, right? You know, I fill everything out and I submit it to the band and I wait for feedback. And there was a point where Ant actually said to me, he's like, why did you put my name on that song? I was like, dude, you wrote the pre-chorus. He's like, I did? I'm like, yeah, dude, that was your riff. You know, so yeah, it's
There's those few hard moments, but
yeah, no. You know, he's not so emotionally attached to his work. Anyway, whatever.
That's awesome.
not
No, that's cool. It's kind of neat to get like into it like that though, really, you know what I mean? See how it all works. And that's cool because, you know, I can listen to music, but it's neat to see how it's built, you know, and some of the little pieces and kind of, you know, how it happens is really kind of cool. So, you know, looking ahead a little bit too, you guys have some shows on the books coming up. I have not like memorized your calendar or anything like that. I didn't do that type of prep, but I know you've got some stuff coming up, something in August. I feel like the fall's starting to build up with a few different announcements that I've seen roll through a little bit. So is that starting to kind of fill out a little?
Yes, yeah, just slowly but surely we are booking some more shows. I'm really excited about this one in August. It's in Sea Caucus. It's about suicide awareness, and I think that's a very important issue to be aware of. So I'm excited for that. And we have some other really big ones, the Chance Theater. I'm super excited for that. That's the one that kept getting canceled like 3 times. And
Everything's tentative at the moment, but you know, when things become solid, we're on it, man.
Yeah.
That show's with Stars and Angel, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that.
And that's okay, yeah. And all right, that's Poughkeepsie, the one in
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
yeah, all right. Oh, that's kind of fun. And do you guys have any plans to tour outside of the area? Like as things start to like you said, it's a little tentative now, so that's kind of risky business, right? But as that becomes more of a sure thing, do you guys plan to venture out a little bit at all?
We've just recently acquired a 45-foot motorhome and 2 tractor trailers full of equipment. So, yeah,
in
We're
our
ready.
dreams,
We're ready.
in our dreams.
We just need the money to fill it up with gas. And
That's perfect. Antonio, we're on about what are we, about 20 minutes in? I'm already at the point where I know that it's sarcasm coming out almost every time.
We're just waiting to get our,
Oh man.
we're waiting for quite honestly, we're speaking to different managers. We're looking to get the right booking agent, and we'll see what comes out of it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I would hope if not 2021, 2022. something.
Definitely. Well, I'd like to travel down there and catch a show anyway, because it's rare that I've followed somebody for this long, a couple of years, but I haven't had a chance to see it. But I'm going to blame COVID on that. Completely.
thank you.
Otherwise I definitely would be there. And where are you guys from in New Jersey? Like whereabouts?
North Hamilton area.
So it's near Wayne, near Patterson, near Franklin Lakes. Those are 3 towns surrounding that are somewhat familiar, I guess, to some people outside
Paramus?
of the area.
Paramus, Tricksters from Paramus.
Trickster.
Okay, yeah, right. So I'm originally from Vernon.
Oh, no way.
okay. So
Yeah.
It's not far. It's right.
So
I
23.
love Vernon.
That was my place, and I'll tell you what, I've got some road rash to prove it from the Alpine slide.
Oh, really?
Traction Park.
Yeah, man.
Traction Park.
When that special came on last year about Action Park, I was like, it was speaking to my soul, man. That was definitely all of that stuff. But I moved up here when I'm in Western New York now, so like Niagara Falls type area, Buffalo, really.
Cool.
I moved up here when I was 9, so it's been a little while.
Wow.
Oh, you're up there.
up there location wise, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You meant Dave.
Thanks for the clarity. No, it's all good. I know. I can roll with all of that. It's all good. Yeah. I was right across from Vernon Valley there, though. I could see the ski slopes right from my bedroom when I was a kid.
Nice.
Wow.
But here we are now, So catching up with some of the latest and greatest though. Last single, "Kiss the Ring," live in Asbury Park. That came out not long ago at all. Love. So that's live, right? So we're getting a little bit of taste of that. How's all that going? Good feedback, it seems.
Yeah, that was actually our last show. We didn't know it at the time that it was our last show before the world went crazy and
Shut down.
yeah. So that's what makes it even more special.
It was shot in what was it? March of 2020, right?
Yeah, March 7th, 2020.
Wow, yeah, that really was like the last week anything was open.
Yeah,
And,
literally.
Yep.
we were
My
lucky enough to have the footage of it and the recording of it and everything. So
no, that's awesome. That's a nice piece to have then, because gosh, we were so innocent back then. We had no idea.
so naive.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah. That week, that was the end of it for me too. I caught Machine Head and Kiss locally, obviously separate shows. But little did we know what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But no, that's really cool. And some of the other stuff too, not on the album, but you guys have been doing some other fun little things here and there as well. A couple covers, little Smashing Pumpkins not too long ago, right? Whose idea was to go to that one?
Actually, it was one of our fans' idea. We opened it up. We went on Instagram Live and just opened for suggestions, and that was one of the suggestions someone threw out there. And I was like, wait a second. Yes, I feel this way right now. So I thought so
It just made sense.
Yeah.
It was a song that we all enjoy.
and Brian laid down the track.
Right then and there.
Right then, like 1 or 2 takes.
Three
takes.
It was 3 takes. We used take 2.
It was literally like one of those things where we had the drums set up and we just recorded triggers. It was October, and like Kimmy said, we went on Instagram Live. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Drums were set up. We had to break it down. We threw out there, "What do you want to hear?" They threw that song out. And it was like one of those songs you've heard all your life. I was always a big fan of the song. I love that song, but I never played it. So it was literally one of those things where like, all right, download it really quick. Let me just play to the track and let's hope it comes out decent enough to release. So it came out decent enough, and they laid their stuff on top of it. And we just kind of held on to it for a few months. We wanted to release it after Triggers. So it was fun.
That was the bonus if we pre-purchased Triggers, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah, you got it. That's awesome.
And I'm like, here's the present. Thank you.
And then Cranberries last year.
Yeah, it was during the same
last year.
time as
That was Asbury Lanes. That was the first time I whipped out my guitar on stage, and it was it felt so cool.
Nice. Well, that's cool. So similar to that one, or well, that one either way. When you guys decide to lay down a cover like that, that's something bands do now and again, right? Brian made the Metallica reference. I'm a big fan of Garage Days too, right?
Oh yeah.
But when what drives you guys to say, you know what, let's screw around, let's cover something. That urge pop up every now and again.
Yeah,
absolutely
all the time.
Like
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
This week, I think we're gonna lay something down tonight. I was just like, I like this song. Let's just cover this song. So then,
what are you doing?
Surprise.
It's a surprise. But what makes it fun, is that I think for us, what makes it fun is that we don't really practice or study a song to record. We just do it from what we've interpreted in our own ways, which makes it ours. You know what I mean? It's kind of like our version, our nod to the band, that we enjoy this music and, that how we perform and how we feel about the song.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool thing to hear too, because, you know, cover songs are tricky, and you guys know that obviously better than I ever could. But like, you know, you either go the route of making it your own, so it's something totally different, or you do something that's just completely faithful to the original one, and it's impressive because it's so faithful to the original, right? It seems there's really no in between.
Right. Right.
Did anybody hear that cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit that was ahead of Black Widow?
I love that. Who did that? Do you know who did that?
I do, because I looked it up right away, because it was
I thought
absolutely chilling.
It would have been totally trendy to have like Billie Eilish do it, which would have made sense. But do you know? Yeah, let me know who did that.
Yeah, it's an artist. Her name is Malia J, Malia, and then just J.
Wow.
I looked it up as soon as I got home. I was like, that was absolutely incredible. And apparently, this girl recorded that song like 5 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and just like, it got picked up for this, and the way they used it was just absolutely incredible. But the point I guess I was trying to drive at there is like, that is totally different than the original too, and it stands out for that reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renditions
flick.
are great.
Circling back to Marvel again.
Yeah, right. You know what happened when we did the Zombie? You know, true confessions, I'm not a big fan of the song, and I know Kimmy loves it, and it was an opportunity for her to play guitar on stage. So I kind of, the way I looked at it was, how can I make it enjoyable for myself to play?
Same.
And ironically, this was like the week that Neil Peart had died, Peart had died. And, you know, of course, I'm a big fan. So I kind of looked at it, well, how would he have covered it, or how would he have addressed it? You know what I mean? So I kind of, do you follow Rush at all?
I do. I'm never going to claim to be. I'm never going to claim to be the biggest Rush fan in the room. But I do really enjoy Rush. I've seen him a few times, and I don't think I could play 2112 enough, because listening to Geddy go back and forth with those characters is just so awesome.
Well, they had an album back in like '94 called Counterparts.
Yeah, I have it. That was the first Rush CD I ever bought.
There you go. So everyone in the room knows it's my favorite album. So when I usually that's my Rush, so to speak. So when I go into the Rush toolbox for drumming, I usually am pulling from the Counterparts, you know, album. So anyway, so when I approached Zombie, I was approaching it from the Counterparts, Neil Peart era, whatever. So and that itself kind of gave it a different, you know,
Jump start for you, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. So should we look forward to like a cover of Animate at some point?
I don't know if I could get Kimmy to sing any Rush, but
I mean, we toyed the idea actually with one song, perhaps Spirit of Radio.
Okay.
You know, that might be a chance.
We shall see.
You can do it. You can do it. But you know, it's
someday.
It's with Rush. It's kind of hard to. It's hard to cover Rush only because it's hard to change anything. In other words, you know, if you're a Rush fan, you only want to hear exact replicas. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, that's fair.
Is because of their musicianship, their talent. And that sounds so one-dimensional. I don't mean that, because I listen to them because I love the sentiment and the vibe and all that stuff. But I guess a lot of people do listen to them because they love hearing technical, the parts. And if you
freaking tight they are.
Myself, I'll listen to, if Mike Portnoy obviously can do it, and Charlie Benante obviously can do it. But you know, if you don't get that fill right, I'm gonna notice. You know, and it's either you gotta totally throw it out and say like, we're not
what they're trying to do.
Yeah, do it different, or
lock into it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem with prog rock. It's hard to replicate, not because it's hard to replicate, but it's hard to veer off the beaten path tastefully without someone being on your case.
Yeah, all right, that's a fair point. And as someone who's not a musician but just consumes music, I can say I can appreciate that.
Thank you.
You know, that's cool. That's cool. So, you know, you guys have played with some pretty cool bands so far. Who have you played with, or are you scheduled to, or just like what's that dream spot that you'd like to share a stage with somebody? That's a question everybody needs to answer. So.
Oh my God, Hailstorm. Listen,
Yeah.
that's a dream for sure.
With the Hailstorm and Evanescence tour coming up. Oh,
I
that'll be
know,
good.
it's like dream tour.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Actually, before the live at Alpha Wave show, I went to an Evanescence concert and went crazy, like screaming because I was so excited because I'm such a fan, and I like almost lost my voice, but I didn't.
Very
yeah,
close.
I do not recommend.
Well, you're a singer. You're not supposed to lose your voice at another band's show. Anybody else can.
I wasn't thinking. You know, you live and you learn.
Still the next day.
And I'm like texting Brian. I'm like, I don't know if I can sing today.
Because I was at a concert last night.
My
In the
voice
crowd.
hurts.
You're fired.
Yeah, we were gonna do just instrumentals that night.
That's amazing. There you go. That's the night to get all proggy, guys. Just improv all night. Go at it.
Yep.
Right? That's awesome. That's really cool. Who else?
I think the Pretty Reckless would be a good catch.
The Pretty Reckless, In This Moment. Oh my God, In This Moment.
Five Finger Death Punch. I don't know.
Shine
So
Down.
good, yeah.
Meg Myers.
Meg.
Dua
Metallica.
Lipa.
Thank you. Dua Lipa would be
Right on.
I don't know.
Skillet
awesome.
would be cool.
Yep.
What's the last one?
Skillet would be cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. And the good news is I think almost anybody that you guys just mentioned, they're all touring this year too. So
I know they're all.
We're working on it. We are working on it.
Bad
it's such a
Flower. Do you know Bad Flower?
yeah. Actually, I caught them at well, they were doing the festivals in 2019, like the last year anybody did festivals. And I caught them at Sonic Temple in Ohio.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna see them in September.
Nice. When he gets all like he goes like backwards with the guitar, you know what I'm talking about? Like I don't move like that anymore. I don't think. I haven't tried. I can't play guitar anyway, so it really wouldn't matter. It look pretty dumb.
No.
Well, that's really cool, guys. Well, I'll tell you what, when it comes to touring and all that kind of stuff forward, I certainly wish you guys the best. It'd be easier if you came here, but I told you I'll come out that way too. So, all of that is really good.
I think Poughkeepsie might be the halfway mark.
Poughkeepsie? Yeah, but that's probably true. What is that, about 5 hours from here, give or take? I've got family in that neck of the woods.
Or maybe the 10th way mark.
Yeah, we
Okay.
gotta go more north.
For us,
More north.
yeah.
Shows more north.
And yeah, exactly. North and also quite west. So all the way on the opposite side of the Empire State, but that's okay. That's all right.
It's just a flight away. Just a flight away. It's only 1 hour.
Yeah, that's true. I like driving to shows. In fact, with very few exceptions, I kind of have a rule that, and I love flying, but I usually go to shows that I can drive to because, and forget the last year and a half. That's weird. But like even normally, I would hate to have plans and like a hotel and a flight to a show, and then like somebody gets sick and the show doesn't happen. Like, you see tours get canceled again before COVID. That would suck. So if I'm driving, it's an adventure, and I just make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like we're having a good time, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? If something last minute happens, I can cancel a hotel.
Good point. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's my thing. Now, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Brian, I know you're a big Metallica fan. This just happened to be clean, but pair of 40th anniversary shows in San Francisco is announced today.
Why?
Oh, now that I would fly for.
I missed that, really.
Yeah, I went to the Fillmore shows. I went to 2 of those back in 2011 that they did for 30 years. That's actually where this came from.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Wow.
There was no cooler moment in live music, and this is a bold statement, but I'm going to stand by it, than seeing Metallica with Dave Mustaine on stage.
I was just going to ask you which nights you saw and who you saw on stage.
I saw 3 and 4, and it was pure happenstance that I got those. But like Ozzy, Halford, Dave Mustaine, unreal. Glenn Danzig. There's a Jersey boy for you.
I would feel, I don't know if it would be like I would feel awkward seeing Dave Mustaine on stage with Metallica.
Or feel for them awkward.
Feel for them awkward. Yeah. Like if it's I don't know. You know what I mean? There's so much negative history there.
There's a little tension. I mean, it felt like there should be, and it didn't come off that way. But then, like, I remember afterwards, there was a bunch of stuff like Dave must have thought he was gonna do stuff with the band afterwards or whatever. And I love Dave, but like, yeah, you know, we'll see. I wouldn't put my money on seeing that happen again in December, but you know, you never know. You never know.
I wonder what it was like to watch Metallica in Antarctica.
Now that would have been cool. That would have been cool. I do know a couple people that made that trip.
What?
That's
Really?
wild.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It's that club is a small circle.
Yeah, I think
Believe it
so.
or not. You know, you tend to know, you know, I don't know everybody, but I did know like one or two people that made that trip. And it's wild because like that whole thing they did, it was like in a dome.
Yeah.
And they played like through like wirelessly. Everybody had headphones because they're on ice. Like they couldn't play the way they normally would. They end up in the ocean. Like,
So scary.
so it's kind of weird, right? Like you're listening to this thing with headphones on in a dome in Antarctica. I don't know. I mean, I would have gone.
I'm just shocked that they haven't officially released that. It seems like something that they would
It's so bold.
gloss up and release.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
as a
surprising.
short set, they only did like 9 songs, so that's like one LP.
But they're the only band to play in 7 continents.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
So what happened? Did everyone just fly there? They played and they flew back? Like,
I
or they
think
just
it's like
stayed there? Like, there's nothing
They
there.
couldn't
Yeah.
fly.
Now they took a boat from somewhere, and it was somewhere in like South America or whatever. That's where like the boat like left
Yeah.
port and actually went down there, and everybody basically got off the boat, and it was like set up, and they did their thing, and you know.
They
Pretty
went
wild.
back on the boat.
It
Okay.
was like a contest thing or whatever, but that kind of stuff is cool, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to the moon first? That's the question.
Yeah.
Us.
See?
It's gonna be Metallica or Kiss. Come on.
And when we get there,
Oh
we're gonna
God,
play.
yes.
We're gonna. No, it's gonna be us. We're gonna play on the moon, and we're gonna cover the entire album, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, I don't want to go to the moon. I want to stay right here on Earth.
Well, it's going to be an instrumental show then. See,
There you go.
we've already covered that.
I'll sing from Earth.
Why not? We Zoom now, so that's how. So that's all right. That's really cool. Getting back to your live shows though too. So Kimmy, the whole thing when you guys were talking about you getting to go and play guitar, hence the Cranberries song there. Is that something you're going to be doing more of?
I hope
Picking
so.
that up?
It's something that I'm still practicing for sure, getting better. But yeah, I hope I'm gonna be playing a little bit more guitar.
Yeah,
I can't shred it like Joe, but
it's a compliment.
You can.
That's cool though. Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet. Well, I hope to see all of that stuff at some point soon, but we'll see. You know. So what else is around the corner for you guys that maybe I didn't even ask about? All right, we talked about writing a little bit. That's coming up. Some live shows are coming up. Yay! I put my 2 cents in for that live album on vinyl. I needed to make sure I did that. You know.
Well, we're gonna be recording some acoustic songs,
Okay.
which we are. I'm breaking the news right now. We haven't talked about this.
Breaking news.
I'm not going to give you all the information because we haven't really even discussed it.
We don't know the news.
we don't
Maybe
even
doesn't
know.
what's going on. No, we're going to be doing something very soon where there'll be a pre-order and there'll be limited edition such and such and numbered such and such and an acoustic album tied to it. So yeah, it's not to give you all the information, but something's coming up. We're going to do a pre-order soon. It's going to
Little
be
bundle of fun stuff.
All right.
yeah, and for all the diehards that we know will be there to support us.
And we might even cover a song in acoustic form too. Because why not?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that. We know how to do that.
The project is evolving in real time.
Yeah, exactly. What song or songs would you like us to do acoustically?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Just Brian knowing. Oh, my dog's barking. See?
Oh my God, doggy! I love
Yeah,
that.
right. Right, Davey. All right. So, Brian, knowing you're a huge Kiss guy, I feel like that's something that maybe you want to consider, right?
Kiss cover?
I don't know. You think?
No.
No? Wait, why? Whoa, what's that?
Look, Kiss is great.
Is
I have
this
no
something you
problem with
guys
Kiss.
do?
I don't have any problem with Kiss, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, I don't think that's it's not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
If-
kids.
I mean, if I were to suggest, I would love to cover.
Nickelback.
I would
Hell no.
Nickelback for sure.
Oh. Should I cut that out?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Before you say that, I did say, and you'll probably know these songs. Watching You was my first pick as a cover for Kiss, and Unholy. Those are my two
Okay.
favorite songs. If we did a cover, I would throw those in the ring, and it didn't fly, so we kind of just didn't go anywhere from there. So
Yeah, I've just got that Unplugged album in mind, and oh man, and even saying that out loud is driving me down a whole bunch of different paths too, because like Nirvana is such an untapped area. We already hit a little bit of that. Those are tough, right? But when I mention Kiss, I'm thinking like, man, Coming Home. Something like that that's not like your stock Kiss song that like you might not even know is Kiss and then go, oh, I like that. Like, I don't know, something like that's kind of cool.
I was toying the idea of two songs. I haven't mentioned it, but either the unplugged version from Alice in Chains, Down in a Hole,
Oh, I love that
So,
song.
and or
That,
Heart Shaped Box.
I
Acoustic.
love that
cool.
song. But Evanescence covered.
And
An
the reason why is
amazing
because they're not only great songs, but they were never covered acoustically, and they're familiar enough where people would get it. I think it'd be kind of cool.
All of that would be a ton of fun. And Alice in Chains is that's a rabbit hole of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like Nutshell is probably one of my absolute favorite songs. That oh my God, Jar of Flies.
I saw them live, but
Ah,
not with the original lead singer.
no, but oh man.
Actually, I did many years ago. I think
did?
they opened
Oh,
up for
really?
Rush, right?
Oh,
Damn.
what
Was it Brendan Byrne?
year was
I've never
that?
seen them.
And that would be 95,
Huh.
96.
Oh man.
In the 90s, yeah. Before
Oh,
he
that
died.
would have been on their last album with Lane.
Right.
That they would that would have been kind of cool.
So fucking good.
When
That
did
would have been cool.
he died in 03, right? 02, 03? Lane Staley died in
I'm not sure when
03,
he
wasn't
He
it?
died in 02.
02, okay.
02.
Yeah,
I was a senior in college, and I remember exactly
that.
where I was.
That's for
One of those
records.
I remember it.
That's the one tour I didn't see.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
bad day.
Oh,
It really was.
I'll have to look it up.
Yep. That's one of my JFK moments. Like, where you are. You know what I mean? When you hear it, I'm like, not another one.
Yeah.
My gosh, these '90s, these '90s rock stars. It's horrible.
I know.
Yeah, I remember when Kurt Cobain died.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
I
like
was
a whole
angry at
there's like
Nirvana
a
for a
whole
long
really
time.
bad year. Like so many people like
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But we're not going to drive down that hole too much, right? We're going to keep it.
Yeah.
Nope.
let's
Otherwise, everybody needs another drink. Probably not another jet fuel there, but you know what I mean. You're good. Another coffee, any of that kind of stuff. But awesome. Well, guys, hey, thanks so much for making some time to come on and chat. I've definitely enjoyed this. Hearing about what you guys have going on. What the songwriting, the shows that are coming up is great. Honestly, I love just kind of banging around here with you too. That's been a ton of fun.
We appreciate it too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be sending it to you shortly when we get this thing posted up. I really look forward to hearing what you guys have coming up next. I'll do a formal close in a second so that I can cut out some of the editing's always fun.
Yeah, we've been there.
No, keep
Yeah,
everything in.
more
That's it.
so than I have, I know. But it's all good. But no, thank you guys so much for jumping on the show today, though. I'm going to let you get back to what you have going on. And I can't wait to see so much more from Reality Suite in the very, very near future.
Thanks a lot.
Hell
for
yeah.
having us.
Thank you.
It's really special to be speaking to you, being like an authentic fan, and a supporter. And believe it or not, we do know you, so to speak, from your thumbnail. It's funny, we all know each other from thumbnails on our social media pages.
I know, right?
So I have known you, so.
Get
Thank
my
you.
camera. The camera's filming right now, but yeah. No, you're right though, and that's it is really cool. I love the opportunity to be able to connect. You know, you know, as what we're doing on this end is kind of growing a little bit. Like you guys are definitely on a short list of those bands that like I talk to people, and if they don't know you, I'm like, no, you really got to listen to these guys. It's really cool. Like, you know, you can pull just so many of those cards out of your pocket before you're just throwing bands at people. So, you know what I mean? If there's like one or two, you guys are always in the conversation for me. So,
Thank you. That means a lot, man.
you know, yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. That's why I shot Brian an image the other day. I always keep a different record in the background when I'm filming here. Sometimes it's the last one I listen to. Sometimes I'm doing it for a reason, you know? And I had a vocalist on the other day that to me attracts a very similar fan base. So I throw little Easter eggs in there like that, like
Oh, sweet.
just in case anybody actually cares as much as I would to find out what the hell is happening in the background. You know, so
Very cool.
I'm like Disney
Thank
freak.
you
That's
so much for
awesome.
having me.
Yes, appreciate it.
So cool. Well, I can't wait to hear all the stuff that you guys are tiptoeing around a little bit tonight. You know, maybe a cover song. I threw out some terrible ideas. It's okay. You know, but definitely August. What's the date? What are the
17th,
17th?
right?
That's the one in Jersey.
Sea Caucus, yes, Sea Caucus, New Jersey.
I don't think it's the 17th. I think it's
Hold
the
on.
12th.
Checking.
Oh, Kim, you're gonna be like 5 days late.
Maybe it's 2021.
It's the
Listen.
14th.
Damn it.
It's the
We're
14th.
both wrong.
Colin, don't listen.
We're just going to show up individually.
The 20th. So
August-
where is that?
August 14th.
It
14th.
is at an amphitheater in Secaucus.
Secaucus is right out of the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh, like so this side of Manhattan.
Yeah. New Jersey side, yeah.
It's been a while, man. All right, so just so everybody knows, 6 hours and 6 minutes. There you
Yeah,
go.
take a flight. Take a flight.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I'd drive that. I'd love to convince
Wow.
you. I've got cousins in Manhattan too, so I would love to get down there and make
You get a little trip out of it.
I'd say a weekend of it. If you know what day of the week is that on?
Saturday.
Saturday. And we're doing the afternoon. It's an afternoon slot, so I mean you can
So you have the whole night.
go into the city.
Go into the city, yeah.
and-
Kick
Watching
ass.
some great bands that day too. It's an outdoor show. It's at the
Well,
Witchmiller Park Amphitheater.
we'll figure it out. I haven't been there. So is Secaucus? Is that? Oh, that's where the stadium is too, right?
Yep, it's right over there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually,
And they have the American Mall that they finally opened that huge one with the roller coasters inside.
Awesome.
The American
Yeah,
Dream
I
Mall,
think
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and there's like a
American
whole
Dream.
water park inside the mall. It's wild. They have a snow skiing slope.
Slope, yeah.
Oh, my friend owns that.
what?
He owns that.
Yeah.
Oh
No, he owns the Mountain Creek in Jersey now.
That's
my
awesome.
God.
And yeah, so that was the funny thing. So we're like, this isn't. I'm not putting this on because this is just bullshitting.
Oh, I
stuff.
have an Airbnb in Vernon, by the way. I just don't want to say that.
Yeah.
No, I
Um,
do. My family does.
Oh, you
I
do?
rent an Airbnb, and it's in Vernon. It's like 2 minutes away from Mountain Creek.
Well, then maybe I'll hit you up. We'll see. But if I go down there and visit him, he better put my ass up because like we literally grew up as little kids. And it's funny. Did you guys watch that documentary on HBO last year?
I didn't see it. Yeah, you saw
I
it?
saw some of it.
Yeah.
Then I got traumatized. I turned it off.
For
It
what?
was tough.
I lost a limb from there.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
but here he goes again. I actually believed him. See, it's been a while since he was joking, and I actually believe
Don't
what he
take it seriously.
No, my buddy I grew up with worked there in high school and then came back and is one of the owners as of like 2 or 3 years ago. And then he was on like Good Morning America opening that indoor ski thing in New York. So like I messaged him when I saw the thing. I'm like, Joey, I'm like, holy shit, man. Like I knew he owned the park, but it's been a
Good
while.
for him.
Wow.
I mean, I know I went through a couple different owners and they weren't able to get it open because the money just ran out. So
Yeah.
he was able to get it open. So good for him.
I don't know. That sounds really cool. No, that'd be fun. Last time I was in that area, I went to see Bon Jovi at Giant Stadium a lot because I'm still a Jersey boy at heart, right? So like, you guys have to like Bon Jovi, Bruce, right? Like
I like both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
What tour did you see him last?
that I saw him on the last album tour because I've come around. Although he's not coming to Buffalo again. I don't know if that's like news there, but like it's a thing because when he tried to buy the Bills, the city basically like boycotted Bon Jovi, and I'm like,
What?
yeah, it was rough because it was really tenuous. Like it was like he was going to buy the team and move him to Toronto, and like this city wants like we live and die by our Buffalo Bills, who are good again. But that tour when I went to see them at the stadium, that was the Bounce tour. So that would have been 2002 or 3. And then after I started dating my wife, we went and saw him at Madison Square Garden for the Have a Nice Day tour as well. Cause like you got to go see him in those venues. It was like the hometown shows.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're going to New York.
I've been seeing him at what's the place in New York?
Prudential.
Yeah, Prudential. I've been seeing him at Prudential.
Oh,
So
that's it.
that
All that
tour-
shit would be cool.
I think he opened the Prudential on the Bounce tour. So I
Really?
saw that. Yeah. And then
Oh, man.
I
That
saw
was such a great album.
His House Is Not For Sale. It was heavy, but nobody liked it.
I loved it. That was it was a post 9/11 like
Yeah.
anthem to me, right? Like that. I mean, I don't know.
The first track. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's good shit, man.
Forget the name
All right,
of
now I gotta look it up. So that's what I'm doing when you guys are asking me about
Now I know
music
what
that we
song
don't
it is,
know.
yeah.
Oh God. Here it is. Oh, Undivided.
Undivided. There you go.
Yeah, and
Excellent
that's what I
song.
mean. That's like that was like the perfect like, hey, put your flag up kind of song.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
That was their last heavy album, and I still like their new stuff, but that's when they kind of went.
Yeah, I liked Have a Nice Day. The one that came after that
Yeah, that was a good one.
That had some great stuff, and then after that, it was pretty much like, you know,
I did like This House Is Not For Sale. I thought
it had a couple
She's Not
tracks
There.
on it.
I did.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one
Yeah.
myself.
What band is this?
Bon Jovi.
Oh,
We had him at Dua Lipa.
Johnny used to work on the
Are you
top.
sure you want to cut this out?
You know what? That's the beauty of it. I'm recording the whole thing, so you don't
Use
know
it for the
what's going on.
trailer. Yeah.
You don't know what's
You have more
maybe I won't
authorization.
edit
And
any.
Antonio sings Bon Jovi.
I'm just gonna throw this whole thing up, and that's it. I'm gonna put a bumper at the beginning and the end and call it a day.
Have a
Done.
nice day.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Boom. Jersey stuff though. Skid Row. You guys like Skid Row?
Yes.
Skid Row, yeah.
Can you sing 18 Life?
Skid Row.
He was,
My
he was
dad would
listening to
blast
Mariah
Skid
Carey
Row.
back then. He doesn't know Skid Row.
18 and a lot this body. 18 and
You're butchering it, man.
I don't know the songs.
Do a
Would
little
you
more. We
take
can
any of
do
the- yeah,
the
so
audio.
we
This.
get-
No, my dad would play Skid Row
Oh, your dad
growing
did.
up. Metallica, Skid Row, Def Leppard.
We'll tell
Oh,
Dad
yeah.
nice.
You might want to cut it now. He's about to play.
Oh God.
Oh, what's that too?
Here we go.
Never mind.
Here it comes. Oh, you gonna let me down like that?
Hold on.
What's your favorite Metallica album?
Oh, the age-old debate. Brian, it goes back and forth between Puppets and Injustice for All.
Ooh,
Nice,
okay.
nice. That's
It
what I
does.
like.
It does. You can almost go track for track. You know what I mean? Like Battery and Blackened.
Right.
Wait, I'm playing Battery for you, man.
Incorporated, Dyer's Eve. How do you pick?
See, I
Here we go.
see, I'm a definitely magnetic cat. So that's
I love that album.
See,
I love that album.
I would say
Suicide
that-
Redemption is awesome. And I got to see that in San Francisco at this. They actually played that.
Cool.
Yep.
Everything on that album. I just love it. That and Injustice, those would be my two favorites.
That's a neat takeaway right there. That's really cool because a lot of people aren't. That's it. I don't know. A lot of people really like that album. They don't necessarily like the production of it, but that's a lot of love for something recent, right? This side of the Black album. That's some high praise.
I'm definitely more towards Ride the Lightning, Master Puppets.
There you go. There you go.
And I have to bore these guys with a Kiss question. So, what's your favorite Kiss album, or era, or lineup?
Oh shit, man. Well, lineup. It's got to have Ace in it, so it's the original lineup for me. I mean, that's it. That Ace is my favorite member of Kiss, and they waited too long to let him sing. That's my takeaway on that one.
Yeah.
Album though, shit. Creatures of the Night's actually really good, even though he's not on it. Even though he's not on it, that song is unbelievable. But I like weird Kiss shit. You know, I like Unmasked is such a weird album for them. Even Dynasty that gets crapped on all the time.
Thank you.
You like
Love it.
Dynasty.
What are your
I
thoughts-
do. I
what are
do.
your-
I
What are your
love
thoughts
that
on the
stuff.
Elder?
What's it? That's not gonna rank in the top 15 Kiss albums.
You said you liked weird. I don't know.
Yeah, but that got too weird. Like, no, there's some of it that's fine. I own the album.
Hot in the Shade or The Elder?
Hot in the Shade.
Oh,
Hot in the Shade. Yeah, that's great. That album's a little too long, probably.
They can cut 5 songs off of it, and
Yeah, like Lickety Split. Probably ones I'd like, but it's fine. No, I did like that a lot. And recently, I would say, like, I got into Kiss in high school when the Unplugged album came out, and they conveniently decided to, get back together again right away, which was awesome as a high school kid. I'm like, cool, I get to go see the real Kiss.
So did you experience Revenge in real time, or that was after everything?
No. Yeah. So Revenge was like, that album was like 92, I want to say.
Yep.
And then 96 is when the Unplugged album like came out, and then the reunion like happened immediately. Like it all happened in the same year. So I got to see them when I was like sophomore, junior in high school, something like that first. And that was so cool. I think it was
That's
cool.
Cool.
But I would say the first 2 albums have come back for me. Like I've started to appreciate those again. I know, there she goes. Wife and kid just got home. The first 2 I really didn't listen to that much growing up. Like the singles on them, Black Diamond, stuff like, yeah, okay, cool. But like to actually soak those up, haven't done that until I got them on vinyl. And that's the beauty of that hobby, is it makes you listen to everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that's a good point, because I was going to actually say this, and we didn't actually get to this point, but the songs Lust and Blame It on Angels, those are tracks 4 and 5 on side 2 of the vinyl, right? And you're familiar with the album. On the album, Blame It on Angels is track 3.
It's not on this print. It's not on this print.
CD. And Lust was still last of the actual stuff before the bonus stuff came out. So my point being is, Lust was always like, that was actually the first song we wrote for that album process. Blame It on Angels was in there somewhere. But Lust and Blame It on Angels never really got all that much love until oddly enough, it got, let me give you perspective. So the CD was sequenced by the indie label that put it out. We kind of gave them that control. We knew we wanted to open with Kiss the Ring, but other than that, it was like, you do what you think is fit, your audience, blah, blah, blah. We gave them the approval, but, they picked the order. So that was their perspective of what should, how it should go. But the album was our perspective, and it was also the vinyl perspective where, you want to open with a strong song, take them on a journey, end with a powerful song, that type of thing. So you get that.
yeah.
So that's why Lust and Blame It on Angels wound up on the other side too. But long story short, now suddenly people are discovering Blame It on Angels and Lust, and we're getting these requests to like perform them live and all this stuff. And it took me a little while to understand it, but being a vinyl collector and a listener, and most of us are, and you are as well, it forces you to listen to everything, because you drop the needle and you listen, as opposed to it being on a CD where you're skipping around.
That's
and
right.
Lust probably got skipped a lot just because it was collateral damage.
There's just like those songs that always get skipped, like in the order of the
Angels
track.
just got skipped, nobody ever discovered it. And
I have a hard rule. The needle doesn't come up until the side's over.
That's awesome.
That's it. Even play,
That's really cool. Yeah.
Short of an emergency, of course, but yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's the whole, otherwise what's the point, right? So that's really cool. I'm actually glad that you got into that, because that's one of the things that I was curious, because it was noticeably different, right? The song structure in there. And I figured, you threw triggers on at the beginning because it's a new song. So like, okay. But I didn't know if it was due to kind of like, an artistic choice like that, as far as like a traditional album, like you said, start with a bang, finish, so on and so forth, or whether, because I didn't go this far into it, is whether it was more for an even play from a timing standpoint, because sometimes that has a lot to do with it too, right? But that's kind of neat to hear you explain the way that the original CD track listing was put together versus you guys actually being in control on the album. And it does give it a completely different presence, if you will,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
Which is cool.
The only thing that played to the track length was we used the single edit of Great on track on side 2. And the behind that was really just so people can actually have a physical copy of that, because it was only available digitally. But also, it did play into the whole trying to keep it under 22 minutes.
Yeah,
it helped.
like the magic length where you can keep things kind of wide open still, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's neat. You know what? This is the kind of stuff I love, is listening to people kind of get into the real nitty gritty stuff like that like you can think about, but you don't really know. So that's awesome. Cool. Guys, I took up more of your time than you initially allotted. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for kind of letting me into to your world for a little bit tonight. I can't wait to cut through all of this stuff and share it. Or maybe I won't cut anything. We'll see.
Well, thank you for having us again, and thank you for being a fan listening to us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I really
very much.
appreciate it, spreading the word and our music, and to me, it's a beautiful thing what you do.
Yeah. Well, hey, this was awesome. The album is probably still available in limited quantities. Once again, that's available at spinmearoundrecordstore.com. I got that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you don't have it right now, what are you waiting for? Go pick it up, sell it out quick, because I want more released on vinyl, and I want it now. Thanks, guys. That was so much fun. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Be well.
You got it. Take care.